Tonight, we're diving into a global economic standoff that could reshape the world. At the center is BRICS, a bloc originally made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and later, South Africa. These nations represent a huge share of the world's population and resources, and they're challenging the West's economic dominance. Recently, BRICS expanded, adding Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Indonesia, making it a powerhouse controlling vast oil reserves and nearly 40% of global GDP. This isn't just about numbers, it's a strategic move to build an alternative to Western-led institutions. Their goal: reduce reliance on the US dollar and create a more multipolar world. The US sees this as a direct threat to its global influence, especially with talk of a BRICS common currency. As BRICS grows, its challenge to the dollar becomes more credible, setting the stage for a high-stakes confrontation. The world is watching as the US threatens unprecedented economic measures in response. The question: can BRICS really change the rules of the global economic game? Let's break down tariffs. A tariff is a tax on imported goods. Think of it as an entry fee for foreign products. Governments use tariffs to protect domestic industries or as leverage in global disputes. In early 2025, President Trump threatened a 100% tariff on all BRICS imports, doubling prices overnight. This wasn't just a bluff. It was a direct response to BRICS' push to move away from the US dollar. The administration also proposed a baseline 10% tariff on most imports globally, with extra penalties for countries supporting BRICS. The message: side with the US, or face steep economic consequences. A 100% tariff is rare and designed to inflict maximum pain, hoping to force BRICS to back down. But this aggressive move risks igniting a global trade war. The stakes? Skyrocketing prices, disrupted supply chains, and a world economy on edge. Will this gamble work or backfire? The world braces for impact. In July 2025, BRICS leaders met in Rio, facing US threats head-on. Their message: unity and defiance. They condemned rising tariffs and protectionism, clearly aimed at the US. Brazil's President Lula declared, "We don't want an emperor of the world dictating rules." BRICS framed their actions as a push for fairness, not aggression. Russia and China emphasized that BRICS isn't targeting any country, but seeking mutual benefit and stability. Their messaging: BRICS stands for free and fair trade, not economic warfare. Instead of dividing the bloc, US pressure has strengthened their resolve. BRICS left Rio committed to media group. BRICS leaders signing trade agreements, international trade documents on table, leaders shaking hands after trade deal stock yet distribute equally, deepening trade ties, fast-tracking alternatives to the dollar, and integrating their economies. The stage is set for a prolonged economic showdown. The world's economic order is being rewritten in real time. This trade war isn't a zero-sum game. Everyone loses. A 100% US tariff on BRICS goods would shrink the American economy by hundreds of billions, according to leading economists. Prices for everyday items, electronics, clothing, oil, would soar, squeezing American families. Inflation would spike, and businesses relying on BRICS imports would face higher costs, passing them on to consumers. BRICS nations would also suffer. Lost access to the US market means job losses and economic instability. China, as the biggest exporter, would be hit hardest, but all BRICS members would feel the pain. Global supply chains would unravel, causing chaos for industries worldwide. The ripple effects? Delayed investments, job losses, and a real risk of global recession. The World Trade Organization's rules would be undermined, opening the door to more protectionism everywhere. No country is immune. This is a crisis with global consequences. The economic pain would be felt in every household, on every continent. The world economy stands on a knife's edge. The stakes couldn't be higher. At the heart of this conflict is the US dollar's dominance. For decades, the dollar has been the world's main currency for trade, giving the US huge power. BRICS wants to change that, by trading in local currencies, and even creating a shared BRICS currency. The addition of oil giants like Saudi Arabia and the UAE is key. If oil starts trading outside the dollar, the global balance shifts. But dethroning the dollar isn't easy. Its strength comes from trust, stability, and the size of U.S. financial markets. No other currency matches the dollar's reliability, yet experts say BRICS faces huge hurdles: political differences, lack of transparency, and trust issues. The Chinese yuan, for example, is tightly controlled, making others wary. Most analysts agree the dollar's reign isn't ending soon, but U.S. trade aggression could speed up the search for alternatives. The trend is clear. Countries are looking to diversify, and the U.S. may be accelerating that shift. The future of money is in flux. Trade wars aren't just headlines, they hit your wallet. A 100% tariff on BRICS goods means higher prices for electronics, clothes, coffee, and more. Everyday items could double in price, straining family budgets. U.S. manufacturers rely on BRICS for raw materials. When costs rise, so do prices for American-made products. Inflation bites, and everyone feels it. Job losses follow. U.S. exporters lose access to BRICS markets, and American farmers and manufacturers face layoffs. Small businesses relying on imports could shut down. In BRICS countries, millions of jobs tied to U.S. exports are at risk, fueling instability. Economic pain spreads fast in our interconnected world. This isn't just a political fight, it's a direct threat to families everywhere. The fallout is real, and no one is spared. The cost of conflict is personal. As of October 2025, the world stands at a crossroads. One path: de-escalation. The threat of economic disaster could force both sides back to the table. The U.S. might use tariffs as leverage for concessions from BRICS, averting a full-blown trade war. Or both sides could dig in, triggering tit-for-tat tariffs, splitting the world into rival blocs, and risking a global recession. A muddled middle ground is also possible. Partial tariffs, persistent uncertainty, and a slow, painful reconfiguration of global trade. Watch for key deadlines, shifts in rhetoric, and any move by BRICS to price oil outside the dollar. Each decision in the coming months will shape the global economy for years. The stakes: higher prices, slower growth, and a new world order. The outcome is uncertain, but the consequences will be felt by all. The next chapter in the global economy is about to be written.